So today I wanted to address the question of whether we should call out individuals who speak negatively about others in a sly manner. It's essential to break down the who is involved, what types of behaviors they possess, and whether it's not worth your time or attention or energy or 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 if there's backlash waiting for you. So it is said that for the most part, devaluation occurs when one person or group undermines the worth or value of another. Now, I'm not talking about if you're a thief or doing something you know just ain't right, like hurting people with your words and your foolish rhetoric on a daily basis, then turning around looking for sympathy and crying wolf after all the chaos you have caused. This would not apply. But devaluing can stir up with derogatory comments, gossip, or just insinuating something in subtle ways about a person, suggesting that they are inferior after you mimic them and cannot perform like them. These types of behaviors often stems from insecurity, a desire for social dominance, or an attempt to elevate oneself by diminishing others. The psychological impact of devaluation on those targeted can be significant, which can lead to feelings of inadequacies, low self-esteem, social isolation. And so once one recognizes this impact, once you recognize how it makes you feel horrible, it's not only crucial to respond, but beautiful when learning who, what, when, why, where, and how to respond to such behaviors. So one would be calling out the behavior directly or addressing it in a soft, not bam in your face kind of way. So give me a minute. I got some notes in the car I took on this topic of interest to me, and we'll share it here on my YouTube channel for anyone that might be interested as I am. There are a couple of reasons why I'll explain while I'm going to finish this video on the role of calling out rude behavior and addressing these subtle behaviors. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And, understanding it and, these type of behaviors as it relates to the individual. And like I always say, I can only speak for myself. And okay, so that is one of the main reasons why I'm looking up this topic for clarity and sharing as I get a little more understanding of it. Because I was like, well, does that make me like them if I don't ignore it and don't speak on it? Or if I do speak on these behaviors, what role am I really playing? So, as I was reading, it was about intent. Are you calling somebody out to do this? Or are you calling them out to let them know how you feel to get an understanding, and then y'all have a good discussion on it where they're not saying shut up, you're making a big deal out of nothing, or it's all in your mind, or just ignore people, or just put it in whatever religious belief hands that you believe in and just let it go. So I think that it can go many different ways. It all depends on, with me, I can talk for me, who I'm dealing with, and whether I feel it's worth my energy or not. Like whether it's somebody that I'm gonna deal with on a regular basis in the workplace, or the family structure, or intimate relationships, and are they worthy of me opening my mouth, giving my voice and my time and energy to. Things of that nature. All right, here we go. Now here's to always, not always, but most times, once I cut the video off, I said, what did I forget? I forgot that one thing I did want to say is another main reason I'm doing this and looking this up is because I have in the past questioned myself a lot of times, and also others come up to me and say, Emily, why are they like this? Like, or what should I say? Should I say something? Or what would you say if someone said this or said that? Or should I say something? And so that's why I want to break it down a little bit more. And then also, as I'm learning, and I know for a fact, because it has happened to me, sometimes people will say things that will get into, I don't know if it's the subconscious, unconscious, it's definitely not the conscious mind, but it'll get hidden in the brain somewhere back here, over here, whatever. And it will affect you to the point where you don't even know you're hesitating to do something that you want to do. It's because of those little sly, subtle remarks that people say. Especially those when they are comparing themselves to you, but they say, I wouldn't do that. Or anything that doesn't feel good to you as they say it, but you kind of swish it off like it don't bother you. But actually it's buried somewhere in the mind, and it will prevent one from, whether it's doing things that you want to do that makes you feel good and you hesitate. You know, it's not only because of you worried about what people are going to say about you. You're not only worried about, am I going to mess up and not be perfect? You're not only going to worry about, oh, nobody's going to like me. You're not only going to worry about, how do I do something I like, even if nobody does like it, right? So all of these things, that's why I'm gonna break it down a little bit more, you know.
Okay, here we go. That devaluing, making you feel like you ain't shit. The calling out these different behaviors. There can be, okay, as I was saying a few minutes ago, two different approaches about calling out this behavior directly. Confrontation and potential consequences. So just being aware of those two things first and foremost. So confrontation involves directly addressing the individual that is making those negative remarks. For example, you might say, I don't think it's fair to talk about someone like that. This type of an approach can serve several purposes. It makes the individual aware that their behavior is noticed. It sets a boundary regarding acceptable behavior from them. And it may encourage a more respectful dialogue. I love those when we can go deeper into conversations because of our different backgrounds and we both respect one another. The next one, the potential consequences. These are those difficult behavior people you need to pay attention to when you're like, oh no, I need to go deep. I need to do not defend, do not engage, do not explain myself, and definitely do not personalize it, because this person is committed to misunderstanding me. So while confronting someone, it can be effective, but it may also lead to conflict. Those they can come out and they will attack you because you brought up something that some people say you're just making them feel bad about themselves. Some people use the word exposing their demons, or however you want to say it. The individual may become defensive or escalate their negative behavior. So therefore, understanding the context and potential repercussions is important before taking this step. It's such a beautiful thing to be learning about personalities, behaviors, their backstories, and how it affects you as an individual. Many people don't want you to learn this stuff. That's why they say don't read, don't listen to the internet, don't do this and don't do that, even since way back years, 100 years ago. So I think by the awareness of understanding certain behaviors, even if you're not going to school for behavioral mechanisms or behavioral health, it's just everyday life. Just knowing the basics can help you so much. So another one, besides directly calling out the behavior, is subtle addressing the behavior, like redirecting the conversation. Instead of directly confronting the person, you might choose to redirect the conversation towards positive aspects of neutral topics. For example, say if someone starts speaking negatively about another person, you can respond with, what do you think about the recent achievement? Like, something totally off topic. This approach avoids confrontation while still signaling disapproval of negative commentary. So the next one would be modeling positive behavior by consistently demonstrating respect and valuing others in your conversation and action. You set an example for those around you. A lot of times people will pick up what you're putting down. So this indirect method encourages a culture of positivity without direct confrontation. There are ethical considerations, like, this is my main thought before I wanted to address this, like, are we becoming like them? Am I becoming like them? And one concern, it says here, when calling out negative behavior, is whether doing so makes us complicit in similar behavior. So the main thing, number one, intent matters. What is your intent before calling someone out or addressing a particular behavior that is not feeling good to you? So if your intention is to promote respect and discourage harmful speech rather than to belittle or attack the individual speaking negatively, then you are not engaging in devaluation yourself. Like, listen, motherfucker, I'm sick and tired of your ass talking about people, you this and you that, so I'm devaluing them as well, right? And I had to really learn that, because my reactionary, my, way of being hurt and just throwing the dagger back is like, it doesn't help me, it doesn't help them, and it definitely doesn't help the people around maybe observing and watching the situation, So the next one under ethical considerations would be constructive versus deconstructive criticism. So there's a distinction between constructive criticism aimed at fostering improvement and destructive criticism that seeks to demean others. If your response aims at constructive dialogue rather than merely pointing out flaws for personal gain or superiority. I'm a point they ass out so that I can gain something personal, like personal people talking to me or loving me, or that superiority thing where I'm above you, regardless of how you think you may be above others. I think that's a piss poor example, but that's the example I can come up with right now. So, then doing that, it does not equate to the same type of behavior as those who devalue others. So, to sum it up, addressing individuals who talk down about others can be approached through either direct confrontation or just, little subtle redirection based on context and desired outcomes. This here, will be like maintaining respect and promoting positive discourse while being mindful of one's intentions and methods. Therefore, it is advisable to call out such behaviors when they arise, but do so thoughtfully and constructively to avoid mirroring the negativity being addressed. And something just came in my mind, like, when the way the world has gone, when people hurt other people intentionally, we want to hurt them back and feel the same thing that we have felt. That's a hard one. But when you get past that and see that you are the main one that don't want to be affected and turn into these type of people, I think that'll keep it. I try to keep that in my mind. I do not want to be like this nasty fool, So that's that. That's just that. I just wanted to bring that out a little bit to make it easier for me to talk about later on, and I'm sharing as I do. All right, peace.